You were expecting a different outcome. You poured your heart into that job, into that relationship, into your engagement, into that friend, and the end result felt like a huge no, a slap in the face, as though you put in so much time and you have absolutely nothing to show for it. I understand how life can just throw you curveballs that you're not expecting and that kind of take you another route than you were desiring to go, and how your heart can shut down on you if you're not careful and intentional with your moves after experiencing those disappointments or even what you may feel is rejection. Hey babe, welcome to the Such a Woman podcast, where we explore womanhood and femininity through the lens of faith. If it is your desire to become the woman of your dreams and to glorify God at the same time, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications to know when I post weekly. I am your host, Dale Pasco, and I am here to help you to become the woman who is admired, loves herself, and makes an impact amongst generations. I've experienced no's in my life when I was expecting a yes. I have felt as though I put in work into a certain project or a person only for that relationship or situation or opportunity to not turn out the way that I desired for it to turn out. One thing I want to help you do today is to see the light at the end of the tunnel and not allow yourself to die in what feels like a place of darkness. The Bible says that hope deferred makes the heart sick. Hope deferred making the heart sick looks like having high hopes for something, having set really grand expectations and dreams and desires for a situation to work out, only to feel like you've been slapped in the face with the disappointments of it. And if you're not careful, your heart can become sick, right? You can feel like you're dying. You can feel like it's the end, like there's no life left. It's so important that we don't allow the ending of a situation or relationship or an opportunity, a closed door, to put our life at a standstill, at a halt, or at a major stop. I cannot tell you how many people have allowed themselves to die in a place that really could have just simply been a burial ground for something that was dead, but their life was not to end. It could have been a garden for them to plant new seeds and to grow something new, but because they didn't understand what they received from that situation that ended, they didn't use what was given to them throughout that process. Say you were in a relationship. You were expecting this relationship to really turn into something beautiful. Maybe you invested like a year or two in that relationship. Maybe you invested even more, only for a situation to happen and for that to come to an end. It's possible that they just simply had a change of heart. Maybe you had a change of heart. Whatever that situation was, because you created this whole plan, all these goals together, you had a dream, you had a vision, seeing them in your life for the rest of your life, because it felt like it was snatched away, now you feel like, how the heck am I supposed to move forward? It's possible that you were preparing for this great promotion at work, doing the work, you were showing up, you were putting in extra hours, you were coming in early, you were praying over the space, you were doing all of the things to be the best candidate for that position that was opening up, only to be told that they decided to go with someone else. And now you're like, okay, so what am I supposed to do now? If you feel like you can't see what to do with the pieces you were given, I want you to know that no matter what you went through, experienced, poured in, received, didn't receive, there is always something beautiful to pull and extract from every situation. But you have to allow yourself and give yourself permission to not stay in a state of victimization or feeling like a failure or believing that you will never amount to anything. You have to start changing your mind, and you have to see what you can extract to use it for the next. See, every disappointment gives you an opportunity to not only see yourself a different way, but also to see the hand of God move differently, to see a different facet of who God is, how he can heal, how he can restore, how he can set free, how he can change a mind, how he can deliver. And the beauty of that is it's always a mirror. God is always saying, because I can do this, let me show you what I want and desire and will and am going to do in your life. So now it gives you an ultimate glow up. You level up, you start changing, you start exploring, you start expanding your mind, learning yourself. You're like, okay, listen, I was really hoping for that job to work out. But because it didn't work out, now I'm not going to just sit here and sulk. I'm going to get on the computer. I'm going to ask around. I'm going to get even more skill sets to make myself an even better candidate. And I'm going to find other opportunities, new opportunities. And when you start searching, when you start doing the work to become a greater asset, you realize you're not lacking anything at all. Nobody took anything from you. No opportunity stripped you of anything. Your identity is not in another person. It's not in a job. It's not in an opportunity. It's not in a friendship. It's not in a marriage. It's not in any of that. Your identity is in God. As long as you have Him, you have everything that you need. As long as you have a sound mind, as long as you have experience, as long as you have history, as long as you have a drive, a get up and go, you have everything that you need. You're able to turn nothing into something. You're able to use your words to propel yourself forward. You're able to change your mind so that you're not allowing yourself to be influenced and stagnated by your environment. You are able to see the silver lining. You're able to see the beauty in what looks like a freaking catastrophe. Like I said, I have plenty experience with disappointments. I remember speaking to God one time. I had to be honest with Him, and I'm like, God, I feel so disappointed. In that honesty and transparency with God, He's like, okay, so beyond disappointment, what do you feel? I began to dig deeper for better words to describe what I was going through. It felt agonizing. I felt like I was being played with. I felt angry. I was pissed off, resentful. I felt bitter. There's so many different things that can come with disappointments, depending on what it is. But the important thing is that you're able to self-identify what you're really feeling. As long as you try to give yourself a reason to make an excuse for other people's behavior, or to excuse how you truly feel, or to downplay it and act like it's not really there, you're telling yourself that you're not worth doing the work to continue living beyond the disappointment. How many women or men have you seen leave a toxic relationship and just kind of like die? Like, yeah, they're still alive. They still go to work. They still, get dressed and they'll go out and do different things. But you can tell they're like a shell of a person. Maybe a loved one passes away, a mother or father passes away, and it's like they just get stuck. They feel like their life is gone. They don't really bathe. They don't brush their teeth. Their hair gets raggedy. Their space is just messed up. They no longer have dreams and visions and plans and goals that they aspire to achieve and accomplish. They're just here. I remember watching this video. It was a video of this homeless guy, and he was laying in the middle of the road, literally where, in the parking lot. He was just laying there asleep. A man walked up to me. He was like, "Hey man, what are you doing out here? Like, why are you just laying here? What's going on? Are you okay?" The guy was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm just tired." The sun was beaming. He was in layered clothing. And I was looking at him like, oh my gosh. He began to tell some of his story. And what happened was he lost his family in a house fire. And because of that, it broke him to a place where he felt like he wasn't able to recover. I think that was one of the most impactful videos I've ever seen, because first of all, everyone has a story. People aren't just out here just to be out here. Everybody has a story. But he was dying. He had given up because people he loved passed away. It's possible that after these disappointments, you don't die. It doesn't mean that you don't give yourself time to grieve, or a moment to express how you're feeling, or a time to just simply sit back and chill for a moment. I think we're just in a space where we go and go and go. And if you don't feel like you can keep going, you stop. And both of them can be really unhealthy. At times in these situations, rejections or disappointments can feel as though they are a direct reflection of your self-worth. No does not always mean that you aren't good enough. Sometimes it means not right now, not here, or it simply means this is not a good fit. A job didn't fall through. Maybe that wasn't a good fit, or it means not right now, or maybe that's not the right company. I was speaking to someone and they were asking me like why we kind of separated. separated and weren't hanging out that much. And I just simply responded like, you didn't offend me, you didn't hurt my feelings, you didn't do anything. Life happened. We have things going on and we simply separated. Sometimes it's not even you being rejected, but when you feel like everybody's rejecting you, you look for people to reject you when they're not even trying to reject you. They're simply living their lives. Or sometimes people are going through their own things and they just simply cannot reach out, not because they don't have the ability, but they're going through life. So reach out to them if you care that much. There are people I've walked past and they're like, girl, I saw you at the store. You didn't say anything to me. And I'm like, okay, so why didn't you just speak? If you saw me and you feel as though I didn't see you, or maybe you thought I was ignoring you, whatever, then come up to me and speak. If it's that big of a deal, if you care that much, you have to do the work on yourself too, because sometimes you're not being rejected at all. People are just simply busy, or things just simply don't work out. We don't always have to connect negativity to situations that don't work out. Sometimes God gives us no's, not only for protection, but also redirection. And sometimes you're not being redirected. Sometimes God's saying no because he wants you to stay still. What about that? Relax. Enjoy your life right now. So you want to make sure you're doing the work so you're not always feeling like you're being overlooked or somebody's trying to undermine you. However, if you are feeling like you are being overlooked, let me tell you something. You are able to thrive through that too. Like I said before, disconnect your value and your worth and your identity from people, places, and things. Keep your identity in the one who does not change. When we connect our value and our worth to people, places, and things, we are able to be shifted from this place to the next, and that's not secure. There's no security in that. You can be in an amazing marriage and they may never cheat on you, they may never abuse you, they may never speak down on you, but what if they simply pass away? Does your life come to an end? What happens? What do you do when things in life don't end up the way that you desired? What do you do when people are intentionally mishandling you or rejecting you? Are you going to chase after them every single time? Are you going to try to force them to see your value? Are you going to keep downplaying yourself so that they can feel like they're on the up and up and do whatever they want with your life? Like, what are you going to do to take responsibility for your life and pull back the reins from other people? When we go through life allowing rejection to hinder us and disappointment to stifle us, if we're not moving forward intentionally, I guarantee we are shrinking back or downplaying ourselves. And what happens is, because we're bracing ourselves for more disappointment, or we're choosing to live in a disappointed place, we're shrinking who we really are. We're hiding gifts and talents. We're settling for positions that we know we can totally supersede. So because you tried to get that job and the job didn't come through, now you're like, okay, I wanted to be an executive administrator, but because that didn't come through for me, I'm simply just going to be a data entry analyst. I know I could be making 100 figures, but because I'm just afraid of being told no, even though I know that I can and God showed me that it's possible, I'm good with 50K. So you start building a life around 50K, or you start building a life as a data entry analyst instead of saying, I'm going to arise to do the work to make 100K plus, or to be that executive assistant or the manager or the district manager or whoever. Disappointments and rejection have the ability to limit you, to cap you off. Your mind sets the limits, right? God is setting you up for something so much bigger, so much better. So much bigger and better, but you have to give yourself permission to see the big and the better and what looks small and bad. So how do you get out of this? First of all, take this time as a time to reassess your life. See rejection as feedback. Maybe this person said that they don't want to be my friend because I'm annoying. What do I do that's annoying? Maybe this person said they don't want to be my friend because I'm too confident. Well, I'm not going to stop being confident, but what can I do to make sure I'm confident and humble? So you start looking at yourself. And I'm not saying that everything that people say to you is correct, because sometimes it's wrong. But if you can see places that you can grow, then use it as feedback. Some other ways that I recommend is still going out and enjoying your life, still building skill sets and qualities qualities, not running away from relationships, but looking forward to building new relationships, right? Don't allow yourself to just dwindle over and die. Find a way to continue bettering yourself and to heal and to be intentional with the way that you are living. Make a list of 3 things that you can control and focus on when life starts feeling overwhelming. Because the truth is, when we experience disappointments or rejections, sometimes we can feel overwhelmed because, those waves just hit you like, dang, this didn't happen this way. That's often how we end up in pity parties, depression, and just laying around doing nothing. So find 3 things that you're able to control and use these things to your advantage. Maybe having a clean place helps you to take care of yourself, wash your face, to want to get in the shower. We downplay those things a lot because it's like, okay, my house is messy. It's not really playing with my mental. Yes, the heck it is. You don't know how much that dirty bathroom is keeping you from actually getting dressed every day, doing your hair, doing your makeup, saying affirmations in the mirror. If you take a few moments of your day and spruce things up, and it's like, oh, I actually enjoy taking a shower. Oh, I want to light a candle while I'm in the bathtub. Oh, I want to put on this smell good because, I want my bathroom to have that aroma when I leave. These things really do matter to your mental health and your ability to just keep moving when it feels like you're being handed things that don't feel good. So I just want to encourage you in this moment to take action immediately. Don't allow another moment or another day to go by that you allow disappointment, rejection, abandonment, anything to hold you back and to hinder your forward movement. Every experience of rejection has a key. You got to find the key and figure out what door it's supposed to open. I really do hope that this conversation helped you to see and understand just how valuable you are, how much you mean to God, and how much He has in store for you, and that everything that looked like a setback is actually a setup for something even better. And I want you to see the beauty of settling in this place, not because you're settling for less, but simply because you're waiting for God to do His big one. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell notification to know when I post every single week. For now, I want you to know that you are her in real life, and it's time for you to live that reality. See you next time.